What if one voice inside a global phenomenon was far more powerful than the world realized? What if the secret behind some of the most emotional moments in modern music actually belonged to a single singer whose vocal color instantly stops listeners in their tracks? Recently, the legendary music magazine Rolling Stone made a statement that has fans all over the world talking again. They highlighted the extraordinary vocal ability of Park Jimin from BTS, and suddenly the internet exploded with one big question. What exactly makes Jimin's voice so different from everyone else? Hello everyone and welcome back to Jikook Lover, the channel where we talk about the biggest and most viral BTS stories shaking the global music world right now. Before we dive into this massive story, make sure you like this video, leave your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe so you never miss any updates about BTS. Because today's story isn't just about praise, it's about recognition from one of the most powerful music publications in the world, and why millions of people are suddenly looking at Jimin's voice in a completely new way. In an industry overflowing with voices, melodies, and endless new artists emerging every year, only a handful of singers manage to create something truly unforgettable. Many artists possess impressive vocal techniques. Many others have beautiful tones that captivate listeners instantly, but very few singers develop a sound so distinctive that audiences can recognize it within seconds. This rare phenomenon is something that has increasingly been associated with Park Jimin, a member of the globally influential group BTS. For millions of fans around the world, Jimin's voice is not simply another vocal color in a group. It is something emotional, fragile, powerful, and unmistakably unique. Yet the journey that brought his voice to global recognition did not happen overnight. When BTS first debuted in 2013, the group quickly gained attention for their powerful performances and strong rap line. Their stage presence was explosive, their choreography intense, and their musical identity bold and energetic. But in those early years, many casual listeners did not immediately recognize just how unusual Jimin's vocal tone truly was. At the time, he was often seen simply as one of the vocalists contributing to the group's harmony. His role was important, but the full depth of his vocal identity had not yet become a central conversation in the global music scene. But as the years passed, something began to change. With every album, every live performance, and every solo moment on stage, Jimin's voice started to stand out more and more. Fans began noticing that when a BTS song reached its emotional peak, it was often Jimin's voice that carried that moment. There was something almost haunting about the way he delivered high notes. His falsetto became one of the most talked about elements of BTS's vocal line. Unlike many male singers who approach high notes with explosive power, Jimin's technique often feels light, almost floating above the music. His voice glides into the upper register with a delicate tone that somehow still cuts through the entire arrangement. Music listeners began describing his voice with words rarely used for male vocalists: ethereal, angelic, fragile, emotional. And gradually, these discussions began reaching beyond the fan community. Vocal coaches started analyzing his performances online. Professional musicians began commenting on his tone. Reaction videos from vocal experts spread across the internet as they attempted to break down the technical aspects of Jimin's singing. Some focused on his control of falsetto and head voice. Others pointed out his ability to blend breathiness with clarity. But almost everyone agreed on one thing: his voice was incredibly recognizable. Yet even with growing recognition, something remarkable happened recently that pushed the conversation to an entirely new level. One of the most influential music publications in the world, Rolling Stone, publicly acknowledged Jimin's vocal ability and highlighted what makes his singing style so distinctive. For many fans, this moment felt monumental Rolling Stone has spent decades shaping conversations around music history. The magazine has covered legendary artists from every era, from rock icons to pop superstars. Being mentioned or recognized by such an institution often signals that an artist's impact has reached far beyond their original audience. So when Rolling Stone discussed Jimin's vocal characteristics, the reaction online was immediate. Social media exploded with excitement. Fans began sharing clips of Jimin's most iconic vocal moments. Performances from concerts resurfaced. Old live stages that once shocked audiences began trending again across different platforms. In many of those clips, viewers could hear the same thing: a voice capable of shifting between vulnerability and power in seconds. And perhaps that is where the mystery begins. Because technically speaking, the music industry is full of talented singers who can reach high notes. Vocal range alone does not automatically create emotional impact. But Jimin's voice seems to do something else entirely. When he sings a high note, listeners often describe feeling something deeper than just admiration for technique. They feel emotion. There is an almost theatrical storytelling quality in his voice, as if each note carries a piece of narrative rather than simply existing as sound. This quality has made sounds like Serendipity, Lie, and Filter unforgettable to many listeners. In each of those performances, Jimin demonstrates a vocal identity that feels intensely personal. Instead of overwhelming the song with vocal power, he often approaches melodies with subtle control and emotional nuance. For critics and music observers, this combination of softness and precision is particularly fascinating. Many male vocalists develop a strong chest voice as the foundation of their singing style. Others emphasize vocal power when performing high notes. Jimin, however, frequently navigates a delicate balance between breathy tones, falsetto resonance, and controlled mixed voice. The result is a sound that feels both light and emotionally heavy at the same time. Some vocal analysts describe it as a voice that floats yet pierces. Others say it feels almost cinematic, capable of creating atmosphere with just a single sustained note. And now, with Rolling Stone bringing this discussion to a wider global audience, the spotlight on Jimin's voice has grown brighter than ever. Fans across different countries begin asking the same question: why does his voice feel so different from everyone else? Is it purely technical skill? Is it the unique tone of his vocal cords? Or is it something less measurable? A rare emotional instinct that cannot easily be taught. Interestingly, even vocal experts sometimes struggle to explain the full impact of his voice. They can analyze pitch accuracy, resonance placement, and breath support. But the emotional reaction listeners experience when hearing Jimin sing seems to go beyond technical measurements. And perhaps that is why conversations about his voice continue to spread. Because in the end, music is not just about technical perfection. It is about the feeling a voice leaves behind. For many listeners, Jimin's voice carries a kind of emotional transparency that makes every performance feel deeply personal. It sounds vulnerable, almost fragile at times, yet it holds enough strength to dominate a stadium full of thousands of people. This paradox may be the true reason critics and fans alike find his voice so captivating. A voice that sounds delicate but commands massive stages. A tone that feels soft but leaves a powerful emotional echo. And now that one of the world's most influential music magazines has acknowledged this unique quality, a new discussion is beginning to spread across the global music community. Perhaps the world is only now starting to fully recognize what fans have been hearing for years. Perhaps the voice that once seemed like just one part of BTS's harmony is actually something much larger, something rare, something unforgettable. But as this recognition continues to grow, one question is quietly emerging among fans, critics, and music lovers everywhere.